Club, and we welcome you to the Melvin H. Rosen Oral History Center at Rocky Run Middle School.
For those of you attending your first Oral History Day, welcome to Rocky Run.
For those of you who are returning to our school, welcome back.
The students and staff at Rocky Run are committed to honoring the memories of those who served in World War II. This past spring break, a group of 80 Rocky Run students, family members, and teachers traveled here to remember and honor the sacrifices made in order to preserve liberty and freedom.
Closer to home, Rocky Run students and staff have been heavily involved with honor flights and recently marched in the National Memorial Day Parade, along with the Spirit of 45, an organization dedicated to honor the sacrifices made to win World War II.
Of course, the heart of our work is our annual World War II Oral History Day, which has become known as the latest generation meets the greatest generation.
Last year, the Oral History Club created a documentary that described the evolving nature of this World War II program.
This year, we thought that it'll be interesting to look at the day through the eyes of our guests.
Over the past 3 months, we've brought in a dozen of our returning guests to get a sense of how the day has impacted them. What follows is their story.
Well, my approach was curiosity. Okay, I didn't know how or what would happen.
There are not many of us left who can talk about our experiences, and I want the younger generation to know what World War II was all about.
60 years, I didn't talk about my experience. I was a closet case. I didn't join any military organization. I didn't talk to my children. And the opening ceremony sort of set the pace of a solemn occasion. And what do you, the veteran, want to impress? One, it's not war is no glory, war is hell.
I had already gone to other schools, so I was familiar with the students, but when I got there and saw the huge number of students that were going to be there, it kind of caught my attention real quick, like that, gee, this is quite a program with all these people there, and they announced that there were going to be 100 veterans there that day. I thought, boy, this is something great that's going on here, and I was impressed.
The fact that I've been here going on my 9th year must tell you that I enjoyed it very much.
At my age, I enjoy meeting younger people like that and telling the story, and that's a great experience. And most all of them feel that same way, that, okay, I have a chance to tell it with ears that are listening to it. I think that was very good.
And this last time I was there, it really floored me. I opened my notebook with the pictures, and these kids are all standing over me with their cameras copying my pictures. That would really surprise me.
I was so favorably impressed with the fact that they would listen to me. No geezer, you know. And they were receptive, they were interested, and they're all well prepared.
That their eyes are just open wide, and they all listen.
That skit with Abbott and Costello, that who's on first, who's on second, it was unbelievable.
The fellow's name on first base.
Who?
The fellow playing first base for St. Louis.
Who?
The guy on first base.
Who is on first?
Well, what are you asking me for?
Well, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, who is on first?
Well, go ahead and tell me.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who is on first?
Mr. Jones, no private rooms nor telephones. You had your breakfast in bed before, but you won't have it there.
I thought we'd got to give some credit to the PTA. Is that who put the chow line together?
The escorts, you know, how professional they were and meeting you with little signs when we come in.
They couldn't do enough. They kept wanting to do more than what was expected of them, really, as far as I was concerned.
Well, Hannah was extraordinarily gracious to me, and I wanted to thank her, so I wrote her a thank you note.
And then I wrote one back to
Yeah.
him, and then we kept writing after that. And he sent me postcards when he was over in Europe, and we said Christmas cards and stuff like that.
I felt secure. I thought Hannah would fight anybody who wanted to hit me, that she'd take my side.
Letters that I got, okay, and I will be very honest to you, it brought tears to my eyes.
And then I got a lot of mail from the students that did it, and they sent me nice letters, and they thanked me, and I thought that was real good, that you guys had learned to write already.
These students were appreciative of the old veterans, and the way they were praising what they called the greatest generation. That was impressive, and it hits you. You really, it gets a little bit emotional when that happens.
And the beginning of the program was so stirring that I recall that there were very few dry eyes.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We veterans, we sort of sieve out all the nasty and horrible things and try to remember some of the more adventurous and pleasant and funny things. And that's what we tell the students, perhaps. And maybe we overemphasize that, because what is really the essence of war is just miserable.
War is destruction. You can't, it's not a nice thing. It's done to get even, or it's done to protect, or whatever, or it's done to gain something.
It's good to be able to understand that, okay, each veteran has their own specific experience that they can rely on. Well, it exposes them to military. It isn't all fighting. It's not all hoop-de-doo. You got to live. You got a life to live, and you can make as much of it as you want to.
Well, it means awful a lot to me to come to the school and talk to young generation about World War II and experiences and all that, to let them know what really life is all about and what freedom is all about.
No matter what great contributions you have made to your society, to your country, all over Europe, it didn't matter if you were a Jew. And I was born a Jew.
That's probably one of the biggest factors in my own decision to come back again, just to see some of the people I have made friends with.
Oh, I think all of us that do this enjoy it a lot, and I've gotten to know some of the fellows, and they're super guys, and they have a good time.
Same way. All the comments I've heard, anyway, from all people my age group say the same thing. What a day. That's probably it, with 3 exclamation points.
I think that it helps to give them a greater sense of appreciation for what they did. Because as the years go by and they get older, they might sometimes feel a bit forgotten by all the events that have happened and so on. So this kind of an occasion, I think, gives them a chance to really reminisce and to feel some proud moments of what they've accomplished. I think there's nothing.
It's a very good program. You should be commended, really.
It's very easy to recommend a very successful program.
I think it probably opens up a lot of discussion.
Meeting of these people that were there is vastly important to the students. It's firsthand information of a person that was there and did these things.
It's an exchange of history and ideas from 2 different generations, you know. Radio, it said that Pearl Harbor had just been born, and everybody looks, where's Pearl Harbor? You know, and nobody knew where Pearl Harbor was, you know, and after we found out, you know, had to grab out some maps. Couldn't go on the internet, Wikipedia, and find out.
This 1-on-1 or 3 and 3 is 6, 1-on-6 does a far superior job to turning pages in a book.
And I wish that this was done in all the schools.
They were able to get the eyewitness testimony or stories, you know, from people who actually participated. So it's not just, you know, from a textbook. You can actually talk and ask questions that you would like to ask, you know, of the veterans who participate in it.
Well, you know, they look upon you as their heroes.
Michael Ingasano attended Rocky Run's World War II Oral History Day for the past 9 years. Not only was he an eager participant with the program, but he also documented its growth by keeping every single piece of correspondence from the teachers as well as the students that interviewed him. Mike's wonderful scrapbook has become the unofficial biography of our World War II Day, and Mr. Ingrasano also frequently wrote about his experiences at Rocky Run. Ever since my first World War II Day at Rocky Run in 2004, my wife has learned that this is a date on the calendar that has priority above all else. Everywhere I go, every teacher or principal or parent I know or happen to meet, I share the story of what a wonderful program it is. World War II Day does it all. Veterans pass off their history, whether thought to be important or not, to another generation. They are honored. While only one day for the veterans, it is a multitask and multi-day event for the students, which really involves the whole school. Teaching in a middle school must be a most challenging profession. You cannot merely pass on knowledge. You must teach the means of pursuing knowledge while inspiring that endeavor. This must be done preserving yet expanding the student's own creativity at a time when the student is becoming more independent. A real challenging learning experience for the students, being exposed to the many facets of war and World War II in particular, requiring research, interviews, and reports, and demonstrating honor and respect to an older generation. A veteran, a nation. In 2006, Mr. Ingrasano was also quoted in the Washington Post, where he talked about his wartime experiences of bullets tearing through his planes and missing family at home. Mr. Ingrasano enjoyed the experience of World War II Day so much that he said, "I'll keep on coming until they carry me out to Arlington Cemetery. All I can do is give you what I feel, so that you can pass it down the line."
Fading. Their voices are going, and can only be heard by those ready to listen. Misty eyes brimmed with glistening tears, lost in the tons of memories. Stories of cruelty, captivity, injustice, chaos, and hope. Stories of freedom, liberation, and a new life. So many swallowed in the gaping greed of one man. Words came alive, dancing off their tongues, leaping from their voices, and if we just listen, their words are immortalized. The greatest meets the latest, but not for long, not forever, fading.